What's up everyone, it's Nars with your daily fix for October 21st. On today's lineup, EA doubles down on Battlefield 2042 specialists despite fan criticism, New World is stuck in a currency crisis, and Square Enix reveals its cancelled Survivor Horror Tomb Raider game. Wait, what? Aw man! Today, EA released its notes on Battlefield 2042 beta that took place from October 6th till the 10th, doubling down on certain aspects of the game that got pushed back from players. During the open beta, EA addressed concerns that specialists incorporated into the game were limiting teamwork by arguing that it wasn't the specialists that were hampering teamwork, but rather features that had yet to be implemented, such as the ping system. Battlefield 2042 developers went on stating, "First, we recognize that numerous improvements to the user interface, identifying between friend and foe, the ping system, and in-game team communication that were missing during the open beta are vital to team play. You didn't get to experience all of those, and so today we want to help talk you through the many different changes that you'll experience in the full game." EA continued the conversation, explaining that since players were not able to get their hands on all 10 of the specialists, they weren't able to see all the action and opportunity Battlefield has to offer. They're clearly hoping that once all the cards are on the table, some fans' minds will change. EA does not plan on removing the ability to pick specialists or loadouts at will in all-out warfare, and did say that squad compositions would be much tighter and more limited in the new Hazard Zone mode, allowing players more customization options at launch to help differentiate themselves. EA's release notes went into detail on Battlefield 2042's loadout, which features progressive access to new gadgets, options, and tools that require players to switch up their strategies throughout conquest and breakthrough gameplay modes. Players will start a game as a specialist and get to choose a medical crate, ammo crate, the recoilless M5 launcher, or repair tool with fully customizable loadouts that mirror traditional class structures such as assault, medic, support, and recon roles. Players will then be able to define exactly what their loadouts are and can quickly switch between setups. Other release notes in the blog post mentioned how bot-heavy servers were too prevalent across the first few hours of the open beta and ultimately ruined matches as players were dropped into games that were not successfully filled. EA noticed throughout the open beta, players were being sent to servers predominantly populated with bots, with some even being sent to servers outside their own region. EA has stated they will iron out matchmaking before release, cause who wants to fight against bots? They just aren't a replacement for other players. Sorry, not sorry. In addition to UI upgrades with essential components, adding big map potentially in the launch or an update after, Comoros with quick action indication, a more readable kill log, and heads up display, EA's blog post is a good read for any Battlefield fan looking to see what to expect in 2042. Moving on, Amazon's latest MMORPG is currently facing deflation troubles. The popular game New World from the e-commerce giant is being affected by deflation currency crisis so bad that on some servers, players have started bartering raw materials with one another instead of spending their increasingly valuable coins. Normally, we see MMOs facing the problem where players generating more money by grinding quests and acquiring small fortunes causes inflation, making big piles of money less and less valuable. For New World, the exact opposite is happening. As per an article by Player Auctions, the game's primary method of distributing currency to players isn't offering enough coins to keep up with the rate of circulation, as players spend their hard-earned cash faster than the system can feed them more. Pretty much, this means prices on in-game items such as crafting materials don't seem worth using coins on, since the value of the currency is much higher than the value of the good. Players have ended up simply trading items instead of using coins, as coin circulation keeps decreasing. Now, while the issue of deflation poses a lot of problems for players in-game, the falling price of raw materials could also affect the way fans play the game in the future. This could potentially disincentivize players from leveling up certain skills that generate coinage. I mean, why would anyone virtually mine ore if you'll make less than the average wage of an entry-level fry cook? There's no news on how New World developer Amazon Games will address the issue, but with the deflation issue likely to worsen, players are hoping for solutions sooner rather than later. And finally, Square Enix revealed its cancelled Survivor Horror Tomb Raider game, and I'm seriously mad about this! As part of the 25th anniversary celebration for Tomb Raider, Square Enix published 3 new videos featuring details from the cancelled survival horror game Tomb Raider Ascension. As shown on YouTube, the 3 videos showcase elements of what could have been Ascension taking place on what seemed like a remote island. When developing the game, Square Enix went on to say at one point Ascension felt closer to a horror game than a Tomb Raider title. In other videos, Square highlights early footage of Ascension leaning further into a horror genre as Laura makes her way through dark and poorly lit areas battling a range of twisted monsters. According to the publisher, it was during its work on Ascension that the team then honed in on telling an original story through the lens of survival, and some of those horror elements were seemingly pushed aside. Across the range of footage shown off, it's clear how Ascension eventually transitioned into becoming the publisher's 2013 reboot, which kept some of the supernatural elements from Ascension. Sadly, many of the original ideas shown will probably be shelved, even with a number of fans praising the idea of the horror-led Tomb Raider title, myself included. Gosh darn it, Square Enix, can we not have nice things? And that was your Games Fix for today, October 21st, 2021. Are you happy with EA Battlefield's 2042 beta? Struggling to pay rent in New World? Let me know in the comments. Download the IGN app on all devices. Follow the Daily Fix on Snapchat. And for all things, everything else, head on over to IGN.com. I'm Nars, and remember to always stay fabulous.
Think you've seen me before? The Brit princess. Rich girl with a pretty face. Shiny guns and a flair for gymnastics. I think you've got me mixed up with someone else.